All right, guys. So we got to talk about a bombshell story that was revealed in the wake of Elon Musk releasing the Twitter files, which is exposing the collusion between the government, campaign teams, and big tech. Okay, which we all knew that this existed, that this was a thing. However, Elon Musk has just proven it, right? He's given us the receipts showing that yes, the government and campaign teams are in bed with big tech. They basically are the same thing, which kind of destroys the left's whole, oh, it's a private company, they can do what they want argument when it comes to censorship, because that's when they say, if they're not calling it a conspiracy, that big tech is systemically discriminating against conservatives, which again, we know that is true, right? That has just been absolutely proven. There's a whole lot going on here. There's a whole lot of corruption that is to be exposed, that has been exposed. And the left, they're ignoring it, right? They're laughing it off, saying, oh, there's no bombshell. The Biden administration, right? The Biden team, okay? They say, well, Biden wasn't in office. Okay, well, his campaign team, I don't see how that makes it any better, but his campaign team requesting that Twitter, pressuring Twitter to censor posts. You agree with that? Like, you agree with presidential candidates pressuring big tech to censor posts that go against their political narrative? Again, these leftists are really showing that they have no principles, okay? That they don't care as long as they can accumulate power. And that's why it's so hard for conservatives in the right. And we're fighting an uphill battle here because we're fighting against an opponent who does not have any principles. Conservatives fight with principles. And sometimes when you're fighting with principles, you're going to lose on some issues, right? Like, for example, abortion, right? Conservatives are losing on principle when it comes to abortion. And the left doesn't care. They're going to go along with whatever is popular, right? Whatever can get them votes or whatever it takes to win, that's what they're going to do. So that's what we're dealing with here, right? And this story right here is a prime example kind of that, right? As you do have somebody who was in office, which is funny, who did take advantage of the left's ability to just openly censor people on Twitter, because Twitter is ran by a bunch of leftist communists, or they were ran by a bunch of leftist communists. So again, it has been revealed that Katie Hobbs' office contacted Twitter to censor posts. So let's read about this. Arizona Governor-elect Katie Hobbs is facing backlash as proof that her office requested for certain tweets to be censored came out of Elon Musk's release of the Twitter files. The internal document showing collusion between government officials, campaign teams, and other like actors with the social media giant to silence political dissent. On January 7, 2021, the communications director for Hobbs' Secretary of State office emailed the Center for Internet Security, a 501 nonprofit cybersecurity organization that, quote, makes the connected world a safer place for people, businesses, and governments through our core competencies of collaboration and innovation, according to their website. Quote, I'm flagging this Twitter account for your review, Hobbs' comms director wrote to the email address to an unidentified profile. The subject line was election-related misinformation. Quote, the misinformation department at CIS then forwarded the message along to an employee at Twitter, writing, please see this report below from the Arizona SOS office. Please let me know if you have any questions. Thank you, Twitter wrote back. Quote, we will escalate. About 7 hours later, a Twitter employee wrote again, thank you. Both tweets have been removed from the service. Copy on this response was an employee at the Cybersecurity and Infrastructure Security Agency, a branch under the federal government's Department of Homeland Security. Okay, so again, all this stuff is interconnected, right? They're all in cahoots with each other. Okay, you got Katie Hobbs, emailing this team, right? And they're relaying this stuff to the government, right? They're relaying it to Twitter. They're all coordinating to censor tweets, right? To censor posts that are not favorable to them. It's kind of amazing how this works. Now, the leftists in their initial reaction was, well, this is a big deal because she didn't even announce that she was running for governor yet. And I'm like, that's irrelevant because she was Secretary of State when she did this, right? When she did this, she was Secretary of State. She was actually a government official, so it's even worse. This is a blatant violation of the First Amendment, right? It's just blatant. It's in your face. But, hey, the left, because they're not principled, they're going to find a way to excuse it. It calls into question, what would Katie Hobbs be willing to do? Again, I'm not making any claims, okay? I don't know. But her being Secretary of State, she is overseeing that election. If she is willing to go as far as to pressure a social media platform to censor speech that she doesn't like, what else would she be willing to do? That is the question. Georgia Representative Marjorie Taylor Greene called for an investigation into the matter, writing, the SOS of Arizona and Gov candidate Katie Hobbs used the power of the AZ SOS to collude with Twitter to unconstitutionally violate the First Amendment rights of Americans for her own political gain. This is communism, and Hobbs cannot be governor. I'm calling for a federal investigation, she added. Arrest them all, conservative talk show host Todd Starnes said. Todd Starnes, another Twitter bombshell, Arizona Secretary of State Katie Hobbs was in regular communication with Twitter, telling them who to censor, and Twitter complied. Arrest all of them. Last week, Musk announced that the public deserves to know what really happened behind closed doors at Twitter. The Twitter files on free speech suppression, soon to be published on Twitter itself. The public deserves to know what really happened. On Friday, the Twitter owner began sharing the files via journalist Matt Taibbi, who shared proof that President Joe Biden's campaign interfered with the dissemination of the Hunter Biden laptop story, which was banned from the platform when it first broke. Now, the leftists, what they've been saying about that is, well, Twitter was just trying to keep people from posting nudes, right? They're trying to pretend like the whole Hunter Biden laptop thing is a scandal about nudes, and they ignore all the other stuff about Joe Biden and his business dealings. No, it was just about nudes. This is how the left pushes misinformation in response to what they claim is misinformation / disinformation. They just push their own misinformation, where they say, oh, no, the Hunter Biden laptop was not about Joe Biden working with his son to potentially be under the influence of foreign actors. No, not about that. Don't worry about that. Don't pay attention to that. That's just a right-wing conspiracy. It's news. What the right is complaining about is the fact that Twitter censored nudes. Again, absolutely hilarious stuff. Republican Representative Troy Nehls on Friday ensured that investigations are coming into the involvement government officials had in censorship at Twitter. Release the names of government officials. Investigations are coming. Well, I hope it's more than just investigations, right? Because Republicans do this all the time. They investigate. Fine, you investigate. If people actually violated the First Amendment, if they broke the law, if they violated the Constitution, they need to be punished, right? They actually need to be punished. If they need to be arrested, if they need to be thrown in jail, it is what it is. But until you actually start punishing Democrats, they're just going to get away with the game that they're playing. And as we have seen, and I've shown you guys, I've told you guys, Democrats are willing to do whatever to win. They don't have a moral compass. They're not standing on any principles. They're simply about power and control. That's it. Let me know what you guys think. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Most importantly, share a Black conservative perspective.